Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here at our Wellness Hub. My name is Monica Campana, and today we have a wonderful guest. Her name is Arathi Ramappa, and she is a certified executive and spiritual coach. She's also a Forbes Coaches Council member, a speaker, and a management consultant who helps individuals from all corners of the world get to a better self and improve their lives at the end. So Arathi, I am so excited to have you here. Thank you for being here. The floor is yours. Tell us a little bit about your background and how did you get to what you're doing to help people today?
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Monica. I'm excited to be here. A little bit about my background. I actually started off as a programmer 20 years ago, and I was working in technology, and then I ended up opening up my own business in technology. I love entrepreneurship. I love tech, and I had a tech consulting business for 10 years. However, I always had this like tugging need to help people in a more direct manner. And I worked in corporate for so long, and I figured out, I was like, you know what? I want to become certified as a coach. And, as a coach, I like helping people transform their thinking and looking at their blocks and helping them direct their thinking so they can achieve successful outcomes in life and in business. So I love working with people on life issues, work issues, career issues, whatever it is. And so that's why I do executive coaching. I love working with leaders and individuals, and I do corporate coaching. I work with teams. But the other side of me is also I do spiritual coaching, and it really comes in. People ask me like, well, what is spiritual coaching? And I don't ever impose my views on people. I just help them figure out what their views are and how do they implement their beliefs in their daily lives, because most people forget about it when it comes to work or just their daily things. So that's what I do. So that's my story.
That's wonderful. So you basically have, these kind of two sides of business and also spiritual side, right?
Yeah.
How you combine
And
the two, which is unique. It's unique. You don't have that from anyone.
thank you.
And so you focus on, you told me you focus on emotional awareness, right? This is how you help people, and also self-awareness. So what's the difference between the two?
Well, emotional intelligence and self-awareness. Those
Yes.
are, self-awareness is a part of emotional intelligence. So, everybody, mindset is the trendy word today, and it's emotional intelligence. It's really, emotional intelligence is deeper than mindset, but it's the mindset you have. It's first self-awareness. How do you look at yourself? How confident you are about yourself, how self-compassionate you are. How do you recognize your emotions? And then how do you manage those emotions to achieve like successful outcomes in whatever situations you are in? Then it's social awareness. This is the second part of emotional intelligence. That's understanding the emotions of others and how what they're going through. And it's understanding, putting yourself in other people's shoes. It's empathy, it's compassion, and it's understanding not only what their emotions are, but how do you manage a situation when people's emotions are a certain way. So that's your social awareness. And then the third part is stress management and decision making. So it's understanding how to deal with your emotions, how to deal with your stress, because your stress affects your decision making. So it's decision making in life, decision making in your careers. And it doesn't have a very positive effect. So this is the third part of emotional intelligence. But the first part always starts with self-awareness, because if you're not aware of yourself, you're not going to be able to change. So
Absolutely.
and I love it.
That's the first step, because so many people keep going and they just don't understand. They don't know that they need to change something, or they, be aware of what you want to do, and that you are doing certain things and you want to change them. So this is the first step. Now, what about one tip to control stress in business? You have this, we're high achievers, high business people, always busy. What is one tip that you would give to people today, right now?
For high achievers,
Yes.
okay, one tip is the biggest game changer in my life is self-compassion. I think this is we to control stress. Stress is not created by, we have this myth that stress is created by outside factors. Stress is created by how we perceive ourselves and how we perceive those factors. And if you perceive yourself better, you're not going to perceive those other factors, as negative as they are and put more stress on you or people. If you feel, but think about it, the days that you feel really good about yourself and you're feeling happy, things can happen and they just fall right off your shoulder. So self-compassion, and people think self-compassion might make you lazy, but it actually does the opposite. It's actually been proven to motivate you more. But what it does is it does three things. First, self-compassion is whenever you are thinking in your head, you're always talking to yourself. We have around 50,000 thoughts a day, and the majority of our thoughts are about ourselves. We're talking about, are we late? We need to do this. We should be doing this. We should do that. We need to do this. We're always thinking about ourselves because that's how we move around throughout the day. And the majority of time, out of those 50,000 thoughts, 70% of our thoughts are negative. And that comes from a long time ago when we were hunters and gatherers and we had to survive and look at, like, is something going to eat us? Had to look at the negative around us. But now we're so negative with ourselves. Our thoughts are so negative in general, and they're mostly about ourselves. So in that moments where you think, I should be doing this, I need to be doing this, I need to be better at this. Why haven't I done this? I haven't achieved this. I have to get all these things done. I'm so overwhelmed. I haven't got enough done. I should have been more productive. I shouldn't have ate that. I shouldn't have done that. I should have this. You need to be self-compassionate. And self-compassionate is three things. It's one, just saying, I'm human and it's okay. No one's perfect. And I will get through this and I can grow from here. And what it does is self-compassion takes that sting out of the moment and lets you know that things are okay and everybody, nobody's perfect and you're human. But it also stops you from falling into the defeatist thoughts that stop you from moving forward. And it stops you from the narcissistic thoughts of thinking, I don't have anything to change. So you're really acknowledging, okay, I need to change, but it's okay. I'm human and I can do this. And that the more you do that in your life, the more, and throughout your days, and you're just kind of easing yourself throughout the days, the more motivated you will be to do the things that you want to do. So, and when you're doing that, because we cause the most stress in ourselves. So if we're telling ourselves all day long, I didn't get enough done. I have so much stuff. And you're just like, okay, no one's human. I mean, everybody's human. No one's perfect. And I'll get through this and I'll get things done and I'll grow from here. You're kind of easing yourself. So it's those little things that add up. And because stress is a snowball effect, it's all the little negative things throughout the day, throughout the week, and it just goes into a snowball and then you're just stressed. So if you catch the small ones and keep catching the small ones, then you'll have less stress.
That's nice.
It was a game changer in my life.
Wow. And you don't let it go to the next level. Yes.
Yeah.
And
it actually motivates you, because if you're feeling okay and not horrible about yourself, you're going to do the things that you want to do, because it's a myth that we think we need to be so hard on ourselves to do stuff, right? We think if we are not hard on ourselves, we're not going to do anything. We're not going to get this done. We're not going to achieve this. But it actually does the opposite, because what happens is when you have self-doubt and you think you need to be hard on yourself, and when you're hard on yourself, you get anxiety because you're beating yourself up in your self-talk. And then when you have all this anxiety, you don't want to think about it. So you don't want to think about whatever it is you have to do, and then you don't do it. And then you get more self-critical of yourself and you just go in this cycle and you don't get out of it.
Now, you've been on Forbes magazine, is that? Is that?
Yeah, I'm a part of the Forbes Coaches Council. So it's an invite only council for their premier like coaches. And, you know, we have different questions that they'll ask us, and they'll take the top answers from the coaches, and I'll write articles for them and things like that.
Wow. And you're also an amazing speaker. You were a speaker yesterday, right? There was a big event. What was it about?
Yes, I am, you know, in my free time outside of my business, I am really involved in the community and advocacy, and I'm the vice chair of the Women's Fund, which is a nonprofit here in Miami. And we had a big fundraiser yesterday, and the chair spoke. I'm the vice chair. I spoke, but we had really amazing speakers like Jane Fonda and Sadella Marley. The mayor spoke. So yes, I
Wow.
do speak. I love
That's
speaking. And I just actually spoke at, sorry, I was just saying, I actually just spoke at the University for Peace that was created by the UN. It was a couple weeks ago. So I was there speaking, doing a presentation on how to have difficult political conversations.
interesting topic. Interesting topic.
Yes.
And Arathi, so what do you offer right now? If people want to contact you, we put all your information on the post. But what's the best way to contact you, for example?
You can send me an email. My email address is arathi.com. You can DM me on social media. You know, the
everything is
going
to be down. Yeah, everything
is going to be there. You can, you know, send me a message on there. And the best way is email. But I would love it for you to keep in touch and sign up. You can contact me on my website. It's www.arathi.com. And you can send me, there's a contact information page, and you can send me a message. But, you know, definitely sign up for my newsletter that will be coming out. But also there's a lot of free resources on there. I have a self-awareness quiz, but I have a worksheet that it's 20 questions that will boost your confidence. So when you need a confidence boost, you know, you can download this free worksheet. I also have 20 questions that leaders can use to keep their projects on track, because I do a lot of leadership training. So there's a lot of free resources on there that you can download and keep in touch with me. But email me directly. It's a@arathi.com.
And you have also Facebook groups. You said you're going to create some special group classes soon?
Well, yes, upcoming, I will be having some online webinars, and I will probably doing some group coaching by the end of the year. I just have to figure out the schedule for it. But I will have some online classes and webinars coming up. So definitely, you know, sign up for my email to keep in contact, or just follow me on social media, either way.
Maybe you have one-on-ones right now, and they're on.
Oh, sorry. About what I do. Yes, I have. I will be having online classes, but I do one-on-ones and corporate coaching. So I do one-on-one individual coaching. So I do a minimum of 12 sessions. I am not one of those coaches that just does a couple of sessions, because yes, you're going to see change right away in a couple of sessions, but you want to make long-lasting change. You know, I have had before, when I started, you know, this coaching practice, I would do a couple of sessions if they wanted it, and they would feel great, like, okay, I'm fine. And then they would be talking to me later on about some issues, and I'm like, see, this is why they didn't implement it. It's practice. Changing the way you think and your mindset takes time. It's practice. I still use self-compassion on myself all day long, and I started using it 10 years ago. So situations there, because there's always going to be a different situation, but I do individual coaching, and then I do corporate coaching. In corporate coaching, I do group coaching, I do workshops, I do team building, I do strategy, I do conflict management, collaboration, productivity. So I love working with teams and executives in corporate, in organizations.
And usually you have like a consultation call, like a initial 15-minute, half an hour consultation call.
Yes, I always do a free consultation, like a mini coaching session that we can do. Just so you know, it's to give a feel. I do a coaching session, but it's just to get a feel of what coaching is like, and we talk about an issue, and to see if we're a good fit.
Yeah.
See if we gel well, you know.
Absolutely.
So
Well, wonderful. Arathi, you have gone so far, and it's amazing. It's amazing to follow your improvement and your
oh,
success. So, and
thank you so much.
you're changing and improving so many people's lives, including mine,
Thank
because I
you.
also had a mini session. It was amazing with the few,
Uh-huh.
the tips. But you're right. It takes time. It takes discipline,
Yes.
perseverance, and wanting to improve and change and be better. So
Yeah, I mean, it really happens, when you're ready. I might have people that come to me that aren't ready to change. And again, when you're talking about stress, we always get stressed out about other people, right? But if we just focus on our own change and growth, we won't worry about other people and we have to stop worrying about people like, why don't they act this way? They might not be ready to change. People have to be ready, and it's okay if they're not ready. Just focus on your own growth. Because that's where you're going to have less stress. But you have to look at it as you have to be very gentle with yourself. Sometimes the word discipline really, people need discipline, but you have to be gentle with yourself in that discipline, because most people think, I don't have discipline, I can't do it, or they try something and then they fall, stop, and they don't keep going. That's when you need the self-compassion, because if you have the self-compassion, you're not going to beat yourself up, and then you're going to do it the next day. You might miss a day, but you'll get back to it the next following day. But if you keep beating yourself up when it comes to discipline, and I messed up this day, and you keep beating yourself up, you're not going to do it. And that's when your discipline falls apart. But if you do the self-compassion, you miss a day and you give yourself compassion. It's okay. I'm human. I'm not perfect. I can grow from here. Then you'll do it the next day. And then you'll start doing it more, and you'll start doing it more. And you might miss a day, but you won't fall out of it. And that's what the problem is with discipline. Everybody thinks it has to be every day from the beginning. And if I miss a day, then I haven't done it and I'm done and I'm a failure. And that's not how discipline works. It starts doing it small, small, small. You're doing it a couple of days, doing it here, there, and then all of a sudden you'll realize I'm doing it every day after a while. But that's over time. So don't fall into this trap. In psychology, they have proven that this is not the case. Like, we have all these traps. In 21 days, 30 days, you'll change your habit. You have to do it straight for 30 days. And psychology research has shown that it's different for each person. Every person's different because they've had different experiences, they've had different trauma, they've had different environments. And so don't fall into the trap of that. I need to change in 30 days. And if I don't, I'm a failure and I'm not good at it and I don't have discipline. It's totally like a long-term thing. It's not going to happen overnight. So
it's not going to happen overnight, and everyone
you
is
have to be okay
different.
with that. Yeah.
Yes.
You have to be okay with that.
Yeah, and it may take a year, may take two, may take 20 years.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
depends on the person.
It
So
might, you just have to be gentle and have fun with it, and know that this is the process of life. If we were all perfect and knew how to do everything and have the perfect lives, it would be boring. You have to find joy in growth, because even if you have, I don't care whoever you think, people think they have these idols and they think they're perfect and nothing's wrong in their lives. It's not true. But even if you get to 70 years old or 80 years old, you're going to have another challenge. You're going to figure out, what do I do next? How do I do this? How do I keep in shape? There's always going to be another goal. So it's the cheesy, enjoy the journey. You have to have fun in the growth, because as soon as you get there and achieve something, there's going to be something else. When I became a Forbes Coaches Council member and they invited me, it was such a great honor. I was all excited. But then now what? You know what? That lasts a day. Now
now
I have
what?
to.
Now
Yeah,
what?
now what's next? There's always going to be something else. When I had my first Forbes article out, it was so exciting. But now what? For a day. Now I have to write another article. Now I want to get in other publications. So there's always going to be something more. I had a great talk. People like, that's so amazing. You're talking, at the University of Peace. Well, yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. You know what? After that, I had this big event this week and I have this. It was exciting. Yes. But if I don't enjoy the journey, because there's always going to be something else to do. And that excitement lasts a moment. So we've got to get over if I'm here, I'll be happy. there's always going to be
No,
something else. And
you have to be happy in the process. Enjoy
yeah,
the process.
because there's always going to be something else. Because as soon as you get there, the happiness lasts a minute, and or lasts a short amount of time, and now you're on to the next thing. Even people who have big businesses that you see are successful, they make all this money. Well, they have to keep them running. It's not like they get to this point and they
And
just
that's
close down
it.
their business. Yeah. Or if they sell their business, maybe they do. But now they got to figure out what they need to do with the rest of their life, or they want to make more money, or they have that. There's always going to be something. So that's why you have to enjoy the journey there.
Enjoy the journey, Arathi. And time just flew. We're a little bit
I
over,
know it flew by.
but we have to, and I have to see you again one day. We'll have you back
In
because there's so
person
much,
soon.
and there's so much to talk about. And you are
Yes.
just an encyclopedia of knowledge and inspiration. Yes, inspiration.
Thank you so much, Monica. You're doing so much great stuff for the community by having this podcast and really helping people. It's really, really wonderful. I think it's an honor to be here, but you have just like you've been always helping people. That when I met you a year before the pandemic. So it's been over a year and a half or something, but you've always been helping people. And now to see your pivot during the pandemic and see you doing all these things on Clubhouse and online virtually, that is a true marker of success. You didn't take, what was going on and be like, oh, you took it like, oh, how can I be creative? How can I pivot? And that's what you want to see people do. So you took a difficult situation and found a really beautiful thing out of it that, if you weren't in this situation, you wouldn't have found, because you would have been doing something different. So kudos to you.
Thank you so much. You give me goosebumps. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for being here. And Arathi, Ramappa, until next time. Mwah. Ciao, everyone.
Thank you.